You four begin to walk down this road, heading towards the nearby Hunters Guild, where you will pass by flipping them off. You make it quite far during You make it quite far during the day as you spend the first 8 hours walking until you make it to the Hunters Guild, and you continue walking, spending the next 8 hours making it up to that small forest section. As the night encroaches, you see something very odd. There are what seem to be 2 halflings on their hands and knees, sort of wandering around, almost looking for something.
Come on. It's gotta be here somewhere. I can't believe I lost it.
You have to find it. I don't know what I'm going to do if I don't have it.
I've been walking for 16 hours. What is it you're looking for?
Okay. My friend here, Steve, that's halfling for Steve. He's looking for his wedding ring. He was going to propose to his girlfriend in Esitorgit, but we lost it on the way over. We're coming from Acramor where we bought the ring. It's supposed to bind her in holiest of matrimony, but I dropped it on accident.
Please, you have to help us. This ring was so expensive and it cannot be replaced.
I'm not sure why you spent that much on a ring. Can I roll investigation to find the ring?
You can roll perception to find the ring.
What about a nature check to see any shrubs or bushes that it could have fallen under? 17.
As you are looking on the ground, you notice that the ring had been caught on a small shrub branch, and they haven't seemed to have even spotted it yet, or see you looking for it.
Hey, there's the ring. I point directly at it.
Really? Oh, thank the gods, you found it. I'm so sorry, brother.
It's fine. I'll hold on to it for now. Whenever we get there, it's covered in dirt. Thank you so much. Is there any way we can repay you?
Any local halfling recipes?
Well, actually, I have this recipe I've been working on for my wedding cake that I was going to put together, if you want that for payment.
I hold out my hand.
All right. Do you mind if I take a copy of this, though? It took me hours to configure.
Sure.
He quickly pulls up a pen and starts writing it down as fast as he can. Where he finishes it, he signs his name on the slip and hands it to you. And there's your recipe.
Double check that both the recipes are the same. He wrote that down quite quickly.
They are exactly the same.
Okay. Thank you for the wedding cake.
Thank you so much for helping us find the ring. What was your name, by the way?
Alexander.
Alexander. Nice to meet you, Alexander. We'll make sure people hear of this.
Surprised I am that you did not pocket the ring for yourself, Master Alex.
Why would I do that? Why would you do that?
Go, where are you two from?
Vale, why would you do that? Vale, what is up with you?
Vale.
By the logic of which, when we first met you, you were in dire need of gold, and you were down to beg us for money that we did not have ourselves. When you were presented with an opportunity to find more gold for an even easier way, my logic can only comprehend that you would most likely steal the ring.
I am a beggar, not a thief.
Noted.
Potato. At the end of the day, they all go on the meat grinder.
The beggars do taste saltier. I think it's all the tears.
I feel the need to ask. You are being sarcastic, right? You don't actually eat people, because I'd have to kill you.
Oh no, yes, I am being sarcastic.
Okay.
It was a gimmick restaurant that served different types of meat, and it just had them on the menu as different types of things. It was hilarious.
And he turns around and starts sweating profusely.
He was eating at Rainforest Cafe, guys. As the night finally comes to a fall, you three realize that it is probably about time to take a long rest.
I fall over into some leaves. How many hours have we been walking?
Alucard, do you think we should rest here, or do you think we'd be fine to keep going? I personally feel like we'd be good to keep going.
What time is it? Dungeon Master, what time is it?
The time right now would probably be around 10, but if you keep going for about 2 or 3 more hours, you're not going to have enough time for a long rest, Galkin.
You could sleep while Vale carries you, like a little baby.
Absolutely not.
I do not need to sleep, Master Galkin. It would be my honor.
You'd be encumbered. If we get attacked, then you'd be at a disadvantage.
Speaking of which, can I make a general perception check just of the area?
Go ahead and make an investigation. Please do it.
17.
As you investigate the area around you, the trees feel as if they might close in. It's not a literal feeling, but it's just something that your body tells you. The ground beneath you feels unwary, as if it's soggy, might sink in, sinkhole possibly. There are vines that seem to grow quickly, similar to that of a rare species of plant known as kudzu. You might be encumbered and suffocated in your sleep. As far as you know, where you are currently is not a good place to rest.
Alucard says all of that out loud to them.
Brother, you are grim. Say, looking over to him, looking like he's going to die today from the landscape alone.
Well, then we should probably keep going.
What'll it be, Galkin? I lean against his shoulder. Vale's muscular arms, or the frog? Make a choice.
The what now, Master Alex?
The frog. Or what'll it be, Galkin?
Master Galkin, I think he is threatening you.
So, Vale's arms, or the frog?
Vale, I'm going to get on your back.
Come here, Pookie. Master Galkin.
Whoa. You sure you don't want the frog? Whisper over to him as he walks away.
I apologize, Master Galkin. That was my attempt at a joke.
That was hilarious.
It was. I'm gonna hop on his back.
As you climb onto Vale's back, he stands up straight and you begin to be carried 3 feet off the ground onto Vale's back. And you begin to sort of doze off as he just holds your arms around him, toting your legs up with his other arm. Rest tight, sweet prince.
It's a shame he didn't pick the frog.
Galkin, as your eyes drift shut, they suddenly burst awake as you are sleeping in that same raggedy cot, in that same dark, damp, cobblestone dungeon that you remember so well. You pick yourself up, crack your knuckles, and begin to walk. You see the vampire cardinal lashing away at this cage with no strength behind any of his attacks, no speed left in him to use. He's weakened as he takes his seat as you walk by, affirming that you are his rightful master. You walk by, grazing your finger against each of these bars until you find the creature that you want. Onkheg. You slowly turn to as you place your hands on the bars as this creature lunges towards you, hitting its skull on the bars and being knocked back into the wall. It begins to try to spit acid at you, dealing no damage to the bars or even able to penetrate through them.
It's not going to work here, Onkheg. If you will, I would appreciate it if you calmed down. It seems some, I've kind of announced this for Cardinal to hear, still don't realize the futile purpose of trying to escape the cages. It is best for all of us if you just calm down.
Roll an animal handling check.
That is it's 12.
The creature's eyes well with fear. It doesn't seem to calm down, but it seems to back away from you as it knows what you did to it. It remembers everything. Your voice, your stance, your stature alone seems to be reflecting in its eyes as it is pushed back into a corner, afraid to move close.
Trying so hard not to interrupt you two with laughter.
I'm gonna look out to the afraid Onkheg in the cage and say, I would say it's best for you to be afraid, but I'd prefer you not to be, well, afraid. That doesn't seem beneficial for either of us. I'm gonna stick one of my hands through the bars and hold it out as like a gesture.
Again, roll an animal handling check, this time with advantage.
That's better. That's gonna be a 16.
The Ankheg, seemingly as the fear dissipates from its eyes, begins to take 3 small steps to your hand as he lays one of his foul-smelling mandibles into your hand.
Why does everything you say in that voice sound so wrong?
1 million beers, please. Say that in that voice.
1 million beers, please.
It's everything.
He begins to examine... okay, I'm sorry. I got too far into it. I'm sorry. That was my bad.
No, you're fine. I want to hold the mandible in my hand and say, I promise, it is not for... This will not be all for naught. Your life meant something. Even if you used it for evil, your powers, the ones you have lended me through death, they will help me greatly. I thank you for that.
Bullshit, man. Come on. You're not using any of our powers for good. Ever since you drained me, I've been feeling weaker and weaker. And I can't even die in here.
Cardinal. It's not the place, nor the time.
I can never leave. So why don't I try to make you as miserable as possible while I'm here?
Just shut you up, Cardinal. I would not kill you. You would not be dismissed. I'd just make you be quiet.
Oh, please. I beg you.
Shut that sexy mouth of yours, Cardinal.
Cardinal.
He pulls out a roll of duct tape.
Don't worry, I'll do it gently.
Dear Lord.
The bug is quite weirded out by this.
As we fade to black at the end of this scene, we're going to cut over to what Alexander and Alucard are doing. This is where our viewership is going to jut upwards because nobody likes Galkin for some reason. I don't know why.
It actually doesn't get to me at all. It ends before Alucard's turn is over. Like, he's burning the vampire head when the average watch time ends. Get out of here.
Ooh, let's watch Critical Role, where all they do is burn vampires.
Almost immediately after Galkin falls asleep, I would like to ask Vale, can you carry me? We've been walking for 18 hours.
Of course, Master Alexander. He pulls Galkin over to his front, laying his head sort of on his shoulder, carrying him with one arm, sort of like a baby. And he gestures his left arm out to you.
I jump up into his left arm. So, Alucard, you heading this way for money or just to kill things?
I'm gonna level with you. I'm really just trying to exterminate vampires.
So to kill things. Do you think it might be a vampire, or do we just seem very vampire-prone?
Oh, I seek them out. And just for the reference, they tend to avoid me.
That's menacing.
Yes, the only time I believe we would encounter a vampire is if we were actively seeking one out.
How often do you seek out vampires?
Every day. I'm always on the watch for one. I can tell when someone's a vampire just by a glimpse.
Oh, really? Have you ever caught someone as a vampire?
A lot of times. You'd be surprised how many of those blood-sucking fiends that think they're human try to mix in with them. There was this one person in a village. It was one of the upper orc ones. I believe it was Flower. She didn't even try to hide it. In the middle of the night, I broke into her house because I've been tracking her for about 3 days at that point, and she had a coffin just in the middle of her house.
You've got to be kidding me. A coffin.
Whole coffin.
The middle of the house. Really?
Middle. So I killed her, and then burned her house down. We're killing Vale.
Why? He can carry me.
He's a vampire, I swear.
Impossible. I am unable to contract disease.
Vale, what are you exactly?
I'm a man. Just like you, meat and bones.
Everyone is able to contract things in this vampirus.
You don't need to sleep. You're huge and monstrously strong, and apparently you can't contract diseases.
He looks down at you and you see his eyes sort of glisten red for a second. I am a man. Just like you, meat and bone, all of it.
Insight check.
Go ahead and roll.
My passive is 14.
With that passive, he's shown no signs of not being just some random dude. He could just be very awkward or very dedicated to his job. You've heard of tales of people like monks undergoing training to not need sleep or rest, or even needing to worry about losing their strength or gaining exhaustion. They would simply do what is called flash resting, or they would take 30-minute interval rests throughout the day.
You micro sleep.
Hold on, I'm gonna try something. Rayo, tell me one of your stories.
About 5 years ago, when I was helping Master Galkin, I remember whenever he was first learning to use his new power. We tried different things. Small game, rabbit, deer, foxes.
DM.
Yes.
DM, while he's speaking and going on, I'm going to take a silver rod out of my backpack and throw it towards him.
Alright. Roll to hit. And first I need you to roll sleight of hand.
Okay, 21. Thank you for letting me roll with advantage. My first roll was a 2.
Of course. You have this weapon drawn. You sort of tuck it into your sleeve, pretending as if you're trying to fix your sleeve itself. And as he's talking, I need you to roll to hit.
17.
He's carrying 2 people. It hits him on the chest, and you see he just sort of looks down as it and then falls to the ground.
Now see, why would you do that, Alucard?
17 did hit.
Forget rock hard abs and knock my knuckles on those things.
You knock your hand on his chest.
Yeah, I knocked like on a door.
You hear.
Thank you. Wait, that thing's metal. Are you a warforged?
Absolutely not. That is impossible. I am meat and bone, just like you.
Uh-huh. I check for a pulse.
Roll medicine.
And I hold my fingers up to his neck where the cardial vein would be.
Roll with advantage.
I roll the same thing twice when it's this bullshit.
What'd you get? 6?
He's killed quite a few people because of faulty medicine check.
Not being a full medical practitioner, place your fingers where you assume the pulse usually would be on a normal humanoid. You feel a pulse, though. You actually even feel the warmth of his skin. It doesn't seem warforged or like even metallic at all. But you feel a pulse, you feel warmth, and you can even feel blood flow.
I hate knowing that I'm wrong and having to play like I don't.
I grab Vale by the 2 sides of his face. Tell me, machine, do you bleed?
Yes.
Well, that settles that. I fall back into his arm.
What's the square root of pi?
Isn't the square root of pi irrational?
Yes.
Why would somebody know that?
9.86902225.
Uh-huh, you're a robot.
I also have pi memorized. 3.1415926535897993.
Oh, he knows pi! Kill him, lad!
You two would know by living normally away from where the rift usually is that warforged are illegal to transport across seas. They are considered contraband.
They're people! They have souls! What do you mean they're illegal?
They are considered contraband and
Vale.
living weapons. They are unable to be contained or held.
Vale, I didn't know you were a border hopper.
No, I follow Master Galkin. Speaking of, I do believe we are arriving at our destination. Now, Alucard, I got one question for you. Does a 13 hit your armor class?
No.
You hear a whistling behind you as you see a rock being thrown into the back of your head as you quickly turn around and catch the stone before it hits you in the direct center of your eye. And you see a silhouette hanging from a tree, striking a JoJo pose. As you zoom in on his features, your senses... Oh no.
Oi! Alucard! I finally found you!
Who the hell is that?
Again! Our battles are commenced, and it will be legendary!
Alucard takes his warhammer out of his back and starts running.
Alucard! Get back here, you swine!
He's going to roll to hit you with another stone. That's a 7 this time. He throws a stone. It whistles.
It hits me, but I just keep running
Are you running away or towards him?
towards him with murderous intent.
I think we should go into the city.
You see this heavily Scottish figure running towards Alucard as well, with the same murderous intent reflecting in his appearance.
How long has it been? You shall know horror, and you shall finally know death!
I can't hear a word he's saying, but I know it's full of malice.
Tonight, you will meet your end! I've done it 1,000 times over, Avocado. And tonight, you'll perish!
Roll to hit.
Nat 1.
You see as this axe is hurled at his head. As he grabs it, he's going to hurl it back at you, aiming for your head as well. 14.
That is not hit.
As a tomahawk hurls through the air, almost hitting you in the direct of the skull, you catch it. You're ready to throw it back.
All right, I'm going to try and knock him out of the tree with the warhammer.
All right.
I'm using real dice now. The fake ones have pained me.
You know it's serious when he brings out the real dice.
Fuck! This is 7 hit.
No!
You see as you swing this tomahawk, he quickly and athletically does a handstand push into the air as he pushes himself behind you as you cut into this tree branch, cutting it clean off of the tree. You have opportunity attack on it as he's jumping out of your range.
That handstand was not necessary.
Was it an 8 hit?
18 does hit.
Fuck. It's 4 damage.
You see as you swing midair, cutting him across the back as he quickly begins to plummet off the tree and just splats on the ground. And you just see blood dripping from his skull as he landed directly on a stone. Next time, Alucard.
Is he going to run away or something?
Surprise!
And he's going to jump back up, and he is going to make a claw attack towards you. Does a 16 at your armor class?
No.
Surprise!
As he jumps up in the air, the moonlight glistening behind him, the silhouette, you are in awe of this silhouette as the moon glistens behind him, and he makes a claw attack towards you, only barely grazing the chin of your helmet. You look back at him as he's going to make a second attack. That's a... Alright, this time to 13 again. You see as he tries to pry your helmet just far enough out of the way where he can land a bite, but your chainmail is too thick for him, and he cannot get a firm grip with his fangs. You push him off of you, and it is now your turn as he leaps onto a nearby branch.
That is the first thing that armor has done. He has just missed every single attack up until now.
Once again, I'm going to swing at him with my warhammer.
Roll to hit.
Fucking 15.
Roll damage.
Whoa, 24 damage!
You see as you athletically leap between these branches, even with this heavy armor that you're wearing, you use the momentum of the branch pulling itself back up from your own weight to leap further up into the air as you swing this hammer in a full 360 and hit him across the jaw. You can feel the bone cave in as it splinters out of his mouth. You see teeth fly as the blood scatters across your helmet. You can even feel some of it get inside of those little hinges in the different chinks of your armor. He's going to grab onto one of these branches before he falls off, and he's going to make a dexterity save. That's a 4. He falls back to the ground.
Damn you, Alucard! Anderson, you will meet your end tonight! I can only say the same to you, Alucard.
Vale looks at you. Alexander says, I feel like this is just going back and forth.
I'm not sure what's going on. I think he'll be fine.
Exactly, and I'm a computer, and I don't even understand what's happening.
Yeah, computer?
He looks over towards you, Alexander, and he gets close to your face and says,
No one will ever believe you.
They were already suspicious of you. Why wouldn't they believe me?
All right. Anderson is going to use another claw attack towards you. This time he got a 19 to hit.
Hits, finally.
You see as he jumps back in the air using a sort of spider climb ability.
Ha! This is where you die, Alucard!
You see as Anderson leaps into the air, his hand in a blade, as he plummets his hand straight through your chest, out the other side, and says,
How do you feel now, Alucard? Like dying?
So that's going to be 6 piercing damage, or slashing damage, I'm sorry.
Alucard's going to use his reaction to unarmed strike him.
Roll.
23.
That definitely hit.
Take 5 bludgeoning damage.
How you want to do this?
As he pushes his hand through my heart,
I scream out, Praise of glory! I take him in the jaw!
You added more scream.
As you grab him by the collar of his very fine shirt, you pull him in closer as you scream out for the blaze of glory, as you lift your hammer of a fist and slam it down into his jaw one last time as you hear the neck crack and you see his head sort of roll to the side of his shoulder as you drop him to the ground with your chest sort of still bleeding out.
I've won!
And he's going to start hacking Anderson to pieces.
Galkin, you're going to wake up at this point, and you, in very utter confusion, see Alucard bleeding from the chest, from an entrance wound and an exit wound from the chest to the back, hacking up what seems like a human corpse wearing fine, rich clothing. And you realize that you just now entered the city. It is very confusing, but it kind of looks like he took an individual, attacked him, and started chopping him to pieces.
You recover from this, Anderson!
What happened while I was asleep?
You will never haunt me no longer!
Yeah, this is about as much information as you're getting. That guy's name was Anderson, apparently. I think they knew each other.
Vale, do you specialize in patching somebody up just until he gets into the city?
I have no recognition of medical capabilities, Master Galkin.
I gave him that crab soup earlier. I think he's fine.
Yeah, but somebody needs to patch up that wound in his chest, or at least cover it for now. I'm gonna stance think like Chris Pratt in Jurassic Park when the three are around him. As I get close, it's me, Galkin. Me. Oh, Alucard. It's me.
Alucard stands up, his blood-soaked armor in hands. Every inch of him is coated in the blood of Anderson. He locks eyes with me and says, he'll be back.
Do you want me to burn?
That business is between me and him. And I point towards the mangled corpse of Anderson on the ground.
You see nothing but minced meat. What seems like completely chopped through bone and cut up different pieces of flesh, even mixed in with the clothing itself, all gathered into a 120-pound pile of just visceral meat. Just on the ground.
Surprise!
Surprise!
It looks like he was malnourished. He was only 120 pounds.
He's a vampire.
I'm
Worst of the worst. Worse than Dracula.
Let's go to the city and see if somebody that can patch you up.
Vale looks towards you, Alexander.
I doubt he's worse than Strahd.
Not real. And Alucard collapses on the ground unconscious.
Hey, Core, could you move the bits of flesh off the road?
Core begins to seemingly devour this flesh, everything included, the bone, the clothing, everything. It brings you what looks like a finger, Galkin.
I don't want to touch that at all.
It gives you a confused look, Galkin, wagging its tail.
Oh, alright. I'd shakily hold out my hand. Hand it here.
He drops the finger in the palm of your hand, seemingly waiting for you to do something with it.
We are not recreating how to train your dragon, and this is out with a man's finger.
Galkin's eyes go wide as he understands the assignment. He looks down at the, misplaced finger in his hand, and he throws it as if he'd throw a stick.
You see as Core's tail stops wagging, and he looks down in sadness as he walks back over to Clev, very, very depressed. He sort of whimpers at your leg, Alexander, almost as if he's tearing up on the inside.
It's okay, buddy. I pet him. Not everyone is your friend. I give him a hug. Oh, you were meant to eat it.
Oh, no, I was not doing that.
Alucard's bleeding out on the ground in front of y'all.
I dragged him back to Vale. Vale's holding him right now.
There's a hole in his chest!
Yeah, I dragged him back to Vale. Come on. He'll deal with him.
I want to walk over to Alucard and lay my hands on his chest, and I want to cast Cure Wounds.